He was loved by people from all ages and classes for decades, best known perhaps as Tom from The Good Life, but prolific on the stage and small screen. Richard Briers has died at the age of 79, just weeks after talking about how years of heavy smoking had left him with emphysema. In a moment, we'll talk to one of his co-stars, Penelope Keith. But first, our chief correspondent, Alex Thompson, has the highlights of a truly memorable life.
Did you cough, Margot?
Yes. I know I'm going to regret asking this, but what are you doing?
Icing the garden.
That voice, that smiling yet irascible style, the essence of TV sitcoms, from Marriage Lines, Ever Decreasing Circles, and of course, The Good Life.
You've got a very sexy neck.
You've never seen my neck.
I'm looking at it now, Margaret.
In its gentle way, The Good Life perhaps did more to bring green issues to people than politics at the time, something still remembered today.
You call yourself a bean, do you? You could have certainly fooled me.
A city garden in the centre of London where the manager's just told us, yeah, Richard Briers. He really inspired me, got me started in all this, which is not bad going, considering the actor himself said he knew nothing at all about gardening or self-sufficiency.
I'm a very suburban man, and I now do the striped lawn, and I've got a strimmer that gets the edges nice and neat, and that's really all. Nothing creative, whatever.
Classically trained at RADA, he barely stopped working from that moment on, joining Kenneth Branagh's company in 1987, saying he'd gone as far as he could in sitcom.
Neither a borrower nor a lender be, for loan oft loses both itself and friend, and borrowing dulls the edge of husbandry.
Polonius to Branagh's Hamlet, Malvolio, Uncle Vanya, and at Branagh's own suggestion, King Lear. Film roles followed, interspersed with an endless parade across Alan Ayckbourn's comedies of middle-class angst, and an OBE in 1989. But of course, there was still time to be rhubarb.
One sparkly day, in the middle of a cold spell, Rhubarb went out into the garden and noticed right away that his mouth was on fire. Rhubarb thought of nothing except the fact that he was the luckiest dog he knew.
HMS Glenbogle, do your worst.
National treasure status long assured, now garnering a new generation of fans. Richard Briers was diagnosed with emphysema 5 years ago, and it would eventually take him. He blamed the smoking, saying recently, "It's totally my fault. Of course, when you're bloody nearly 80, you've had it anyway." A little harsh, perhaps, as Polonius said all those years before.
To thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day. Thou canst not then be false to any man.